All right, welcome back to Dale Kramer's Custom Cars and Anything. And I mean anything. There's the star show, Mindy. How you doing down there, Mindy? Doing good? All right. Anyway, let's go through this thing. So today, I finished putting this thing kind of, there we go. Hey, I got it. I think I got it. No, stay there. But anyway, the last time you seen the 400, it was a short block. It didn't have the heads on it or nothing, And obviously, I wasn't gonna do a video on just bolting the heads on, but I'll do videos of more. So the heads, clean them up, check them for straightness. They're good. Looks like they were maybe machined a couple thousandths. There was a marking on it, and I believe it was for 2,000ths. So it's just to kind of clean them up a little bit on the deck of the head, on the gasket mating surface. So then what I did is I had that intake on it. I save all these old pieces so I can spray up the motor, and you can see all the overspray on that. And so I painted it, Ports are still taped up. Might as well just leave them taped up for now. And the spark plugs are just junk, I'm not going to be using them. Oil filter is obviously junk. But, so anyway, I didn't do a video on putting the heads on, like I said. Just make sure your gasket surfaces are between the deck of the block and the deck of the heads, that they're clean and straight. And I took a flat edge to mine, and mine were good. Like I say, it was machined somewhere, 2,000ths or 3,000, whatever. And then I slid the cam. I slid the cam in it. Well, here, let's take this old piece of crap off of here. Okay, then I can show you that. So anyway, I put the double roller back in it that was in it. I got a brand new one on the shelf, but this thing had the same play as that, as the new one. I don't think it was no different, so I took it back off and I put the old one back on. I said, since this is all broken together, let's just leave it together. I didn't do no video. I slid the cam in, and I used engine assembly lube, Let's see. Right here it is. Assembly lube. This is not break-in lube. You do not want to use break-in lube if you're resealing a motor. This motor doesn't have very many miles on it, but it's broke in. It's past that stage. So I use assembly lube, not engine break-in assembly lube. There's two differences to that. The other stuff has got like a polymer, I don't want to say graphite, but it helps break in things, okay? It's like mixing it with sand, so it breaks everything in, you know what I mean? So to speak, but they don't mix it with sand. But I'm just saying, it helps break it in. And we don't need to help break it in. Everything's broke in. So we're reusing everything. And when you take these motors apart to do this, make sure you put everything back in order the way it was. Don't just throw everything together. When you take it apart, mark which way everything went and all that stuff. Okay? I just wanted to get that right with you guys. So anyway, like I say, I didn't film, sliding the cam in, brushing assembly lube on it, and then putting it in. I didn't think nobody had to know that. And then I didn't film putting a timing chain on it, and all you gotta do is make sure your dots are lined up there, and then torque your. Now this is called a single bolt cam because it only has one bolt. It doesn't have like the 426 Hemi or the Magnum motors where they had a 3-bolt cam. Okay, this has just a single. Okay, So that has to be torqued at 35 foot-pounds. Okay? And I did not put the distributor drive gear in yet, you know, because of the fact I got to prime this thing when I get oil in it. After I prime it, you know, then I'm going to go to work and I'm going to put the distributor drive gear in. I'll do a video on all that, you know. And like I say, I did not do a video on putting the heads on. You know, and when you put the heads on, obviously, again, make sure that your gasket surfaces are clean, you know, and stuff like that. So I didn't physically do the video on setting the head on. But when you torque the head bolts, you know, when you torque all these head bolts in here, you know, you always start from the center and you work your way out. Okay? Always do that. Start from the center, work your way out. And then the head bolts, now just the head bolts, not the rocker arm shaft bolts, but the head bolts, they're torqued at 70 foot-pounds. So when you get the head mounted on there, you want to go 35, half of the torque. 35, work your way out, you know. And then go through them all, make sure they're 35. Then set your torque wrench up for 70 foot-pounds and do it again. And then check them all again. And they should be all at 70. Okay? Then you can slide your lifters in. And I put engine assembly lube on the lifters. Slid them all in, all 16 of them. And then I slid all the push rods in. Then I put engine assembly lube on all the tips of the push rods, you know. And then I put the rocker shafts on, okay. I put an engine assembly lube on all the tips of the valves, and you can see I put it in here because when they're moving, you know, so that way they get lube, you know, until they get lube. And engine assembly lube is going to dissolve into the oil, you know. So then you're going to want to change oil ASAP, you know. Run it, warm it up. You know, maybe take it for a ride around the block and come back and then change the oil. Get rid of that shit out of the motor, you know. And then change the oil filter right away on it, you know. Now, when you mount the rocker arm shafts on, then these have to be torqued at 25 foot-pounds. These, make sure 25 foot-pounds. The head bolts are 70. All these head bolts are 70. But the rocker arm shaft bolts are only 25. Because otherwise what's going to happen if you torque them a little more, this hollow pipe that runs all the way through here that you see, it'll start crushing it. Okay? So 25 foot-pounds on these that I'm pointing to. Okay? So I shouldn't have to film that, you know. I think we're all, you know what we can do. You know, so I didn't film that. I didn't film me painting it. It didn't take much to clean it because the motor's so new yet. You know, and then I got a nice scrape blade knife, and then I use a wire. Make sure you have safety glasses on, because them little strands fly off. I've had them stick in my belly actually, and pull them out with the tweezers. So when you crank, I don't crank this thing up to full throttle either, because always they're flying apart. But I use a wire brush and stuff like that. And then I also I bought a chrome dipstick tube, you know, for it. So that should make it like 2.4% faster, I would think. That should help out. And then let's set this valve cover back on here. But yeah, look how clean that motor was. You know, I don't know if you can see that, but it was actually starting to dry out. See the rust there? So anyway, let's just set this back on there. Then I also bought a chrome timing cover. So that should make it another, like, maybe 3.45% faster. You know? We're getting faster. And then, So I got to put the seal in it yet and stuff like that. Let's see if it fits. I never even looked. I bought it from Evil Bay, so Derek calls it Evil Bay. And some of that stuff I think is just knockoffs. Oh yeah, there. Motor looks faster already. Sweet, huh? And then I painted the water pump so it was like kind of like aluminum. On here it looks like chrome, but it's not. In person it looks a lot better. So I painted that, so that should look good on there. Because aluminum ones, they used to be like $129. Now they're like $329. This corporate greed in the United States has got to stop. I don't believe it has to be that much. Then the Harmount balancer, I painted that black. You know, so I can make my yellow mark on there. That'll show up nice. And then the timing cover also came with a chrome timing tab. So that'll look good on there. So, no, don't fall off now on me, buddy. And then, so let's set this thing back in here for now. And then also I bought from Good People. I went on the old Facebook thingy, and then they had an intake, so I bought that from Brian and Shelley, and they're from Minnesota here, and just south of me down, you know, towards New Ulm, Minnesota. So I met him today and picked this up, you know, so I can get rid of this heavy thing down here. That would probably hold my bass boat in a 75 mile an hour wind. Probably would hold it steady. God, that thing's heavy. But I'll keep it because it is a 4-barrel, you know. It's not the Holly one. But we'll just keep it around for now anyway. So yeah, and then when I got it home here this afternoon, then I put it in my blasting cabinet over there and blasted it up and cleaned it up. So I don't know if I should clear it or something, or I don't know if I should just leave it the way it is. Some people say leave it the way it is. Some people say you should clear it with engine clear. And so yeah, Brian and Shelley sold me that. That was very nice of them. They're good people. And I hope I got their names correct anyway. I'm sure I did. And I still got, you know, tape over the exhaust ports. You know, I should have probably pulled that off, but I figured I might as well leave that on there for now. And still got a rag in there, you know, for the rally pan. And then, yeah. What else can I tell you quick about this? Let's see. Oh, yeah. Tomorrow the valve covers come. They're chrome valve covers with the T's. So that should make it another 4.9% faster. So we're getting faster here, you know. And then I'm gonna put an Elderbrock 600 on the top. You know, like I say, the motor, you know, it's not exactly matched up. You know, it's got I checked the cam out, and it's a factory cam, but it's a regrind of kind of like a chuck cam, torquer cam, and that's fine. This motor is not meant to be fast. It's going to look faster than what it actually is, you know. But the thing is that it'll, you know. So when I do this, let's see. I made this intake years ago. It was on one of my coupes. I built that intake for a 5.7 Hemi. But I think I'm going to use maybe that scoop, you know. And then with one of these 600s I got here, you know. I'll put that on there. And then, so yeah, that should be plenty. That should be good enough, you know. And yeah, here's the Dana when we got done with her. On my previous videos, you can watch them, you know. You can watch them videos where I put this thing all together. And so that's ready to go in the project that, you know. Then I bought this Dana from a guy up by St. Cloud. His name was Keith. Really nice guy. And I checked it over. It's got a nice mouse nest in it right about here, because they cut off the axle ends and then they had the axles out, so the mouse made a nice home right about there. But as you can see down here, I kind of evicted them, you know. Then I just put this stuff on the end for now. But it's the 410 gears in the back. It was made in '69. And then it's kind of a coincidence because it's only a month off from this Dana 60. So yeah, it's got the locker unit in it, which is really nice. You know, 410 locker. So that's pretty cool. But this might go in my brother's 33 Plymouth we might be working on. So I just taped the good old Menards bags on the end for now. And then I'm going to pull the unit out of it and clean it and all that. That's another project some other time. And well, yeah, getting back to the 400, here's a distributor and / oil pump drive gear, you know, and stuff. And yeah, so anyway, gonna be on a different video. We'll put that in. But anyway, so 400 is definitely looking better. If you look at the previous, you know, click on playlists. You know, I try to categorize this all. So if you click on playlists, you'll see the 400, or you'll see the Dana when I worked on that. Or pretty soon we're going to start rebuilding a 727. That's going to go behind this. I'm going to put a shift kit in it and stuff, and I'm going to do a video on that too as well. And then we'll do a video on, you know, putting this 400, rest of it together. I also ordered but that's not going to be here till the end of the week. I ordered all new stainless steel hardware bolts for this. For the cover, for the water pump, the intake manifold, the chrome oil pan, which I'm going to get tomorrow. Chrome oil pan, that should make it another 2.9% faster. So there'll be a chrome oil pan. Because it's going to, what's happening here is that I'm taking out the 5.7 Hemi that's in old red, my red two-door Model A, that if you look on my videos, you'll see it's on there. Taking that 5.7 and that 727 out of there. And I'm going to put it in front of that Dana 60, you know, and with this Mustang 2 cross member in a project that I have a surprise for you guys. It's going to be kind of a neat project, and I'm going to be utilizing it. So anyway, I'm taking the 5.7 and the 727 out of that. I'm going to put it in this project. So in place of that, I'm putting this 400 and 727 in that red Model A. So it's going to look nice, you know. And I'm going to sell that Model A. We're going to sell it then, okay? So it's going to finance in that project, you know. So, and then that Dana will go in my brother's probably 33 Plymouth Coupe. But that's another different project some other day. And so yeah, so this 400 is going to go in old red, my Model A sedan. If you look on my other videos, you can see it. But I'm pulling the 5.7 Hemi and the transmission out of there, and I'm putting this in there with the 727 that's over there behind the Hemi on the shelf. And I'm going to rebuild. I'm going to do a story on that. So we'll do videos on how to rebuild the 727. And you guys will find out that it's actually simpler than what you think it is. And then we're going to sell this all. But then that 5.7 again is going to go over the top of that Mustang 2 cross member powering that rear end that's over there in that other project. That's a surprise. So, and Derek from Vice Grip, we should run them. But he's a good guy. Derek is a good guy. If you guys don't know him, check out his channel, Vice Grip Garage, on YouTube. Check his channel out. He's a good guy. Very nice guy. I consider him a friend. And but anyway, yeah. So I'll have you along for this, all this stuff that's going to be coming up. It's going to be a hell of a ride, so hang on and put your seatbelts on, and we're going to try to do this and while the snow is going to start flying outside. And then, yeah, so, and other than that, click on playlist. This will be in the 400 playlist again. If you click on videos, you get all my videos. But if you'll see on the top it says playlist. If you click on that, then it takes you precisely to this or to that, or gonna be to that later, or whatever. So anyway, you guys, I appreciate it. Appreciate the likes, thumbs up. Whatever you're working on, Chevy, Ford, Mopar, whatever it is, Studebaker, Yugo, Honda, whatever. Hopefully you guys are all having a good time. That's all that matters, in today's world, and that we all have a good, excuse me, good time. So, anyway, please subscribe if you can. I would appreciate it. And take care, guys. Bye-bye.